Hey there, welcome to Millennium Milestone Presents, a site dedicated to storytelling in books, movies, and video games and other exciting genres. We're coming at you today with a segment I would like to call News Bits, which is going to be something we're hoping will be recurring and try to touch on current events that are happening in the arenas of entertainment, whether it be in books, movies, video games, just like the title says in our channel. And we're not going to waste too much time. These are going to be minute bits on news bits that are going on throughout the internet.
News broke out of the final deal sealed by Amazon acquiring the rights to the 007 James Bond franchise. There were months where it seemed as if the deal was never going to happen, as Amazon hit a wall with Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, the curators of the James Bond franchise, or the estate that cares for the IP, were adamant that James remained as he was portrayed in the Ian Fleming books, and that any interpretation of the original was not acceptable. In an article a few months back, Broccoli stated that she was turned off by the way Representative Jennifer Salke referred to the Bond franchise as just content and was ready to hold hostage the deal and never allow another production to be made until her demands were met. However, there appears to be a change of heart, as it was announced in several news sites, including Variety magazine, that all parties have come to the following agreement, entitled, Amazon, which now owns MGM, gains creative control of 007 franchise as producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson step back, which means in part that Amazon will now have full creative control of the franchise from here on out, while Broccoli and Wilson will be on hand in executive roles for the franchise. While the deal is made and all parties are happy with the outcome, people on the internet don't seem to be keen on this just yet. Owner of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, came on X.com recently and asked the question, who should play the next James Bond? And from what I gathered, among a lot of fans of the franchise, the obvious front-runner appears to be that of Henry Cavill, famed actor of the Netflix series The Witcher, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and The Justice League. While Cavill appears to be the obvious choice among many, there have been rumors of changing Bond in many different ways, among them making him either black, gay, or even a woman. Many of these choices have been made by many different other franchises. Among some of those, as an example, was the BBC series Doctor Who, which unfortunately the change of making him not only black but also gay showed diminishing viewership, as it turned away a lot of fans by doing this. As for myself, I contest that this idea of any of the sort would be stupid, idiotic to the highest degree. It's as bizarre as having Cinderella walk into the ball in anything but glass slippers. But instead you swap them for soccer cleats, or how about army boots, or maybe rollerblades. Plain and simple, James Bond, as interpreted in the world of Ian Fleming as a white British spy for MI6, is something that fans agree with. Changing that to fit a narrative other than that is just not going to work. No disrespect to actors like Idris Elba or Aaron Pierre. Both of these men are stellar actors but deserve something better than a hand-me-down role from a legacy franchise. For now, all is up in the air as the future of the franchise, and to sum up my thoughts, here's a nice little clip to express that feeling right now.
Our next story brings us to Brave New World, the fourth Captain America film, which is off to a bad second weekend as there was a significant drop from last week's start. There were media news sites trying their best to spin the story as the third best opening for a Captain America film, which does not really tell the whole story. OMB Reviews, a writer for the popular website on YouTube and Rumble channel Geeks and Gamers, also who has his own channel on YouTube, reported that the story that the mainstream media was not accurate, as he showed in recent tweets on X.com that the numbers per day for Brave New World was not even close to the numbers of Ant-Man Quantumania, which also suffered a similar debacle as its numbers dwindled in the passing weeks. What makes this unique, as OMB noted, is that the box office take per day was significantly smaller to that of Quantumania's run in theaters. This new development shows that we are in a long haul as we wait for Marvel to course correct from the disastrous MCU Phase 5. A lot of these projects were long-standing from what Disney was doing for the past 5 years with its franchise, as it kept inserting unwanted story ideas that focused on equality and inclusion, erasing traditionally white Caucasian characters, and race swapping and lessening their role by putting newer characters that don't meet up to the legacy of these prominent heroes. The next Marvel event that might capture what fans really want might come in the form of the former Netflix, now rebranded Daredevil Born Again series on Disney+. The series is set to air March 4th. Its trailer was released not too long ago and was met with positive comments and praise, as it seems to be staying in tone with the former Netflix series that ran for 3 seasons from 2015. While it is a positive for Marvel, there is a hurdle of the next films coming out later this year that we have to contend with. You have coming out on May 2nd Thunderbolts, which basically tries to copy the success of Suicide Squad minus any real reformed criminals for this superhero team. Then later this year, there is the highly anticipated Fantastic Four film, which is being measured to where the franchise might be headed in the future. Set to release in July in what looks to be a more competitive month, with movies that include Jurassic Park and another superhero movie in the form of James Gunn's Superman. As for Brave New World, I did review this film recently, and you can check it out on my YouTube channel to see what my honest thoughts were on this film. Our last story brings us to an update regarding the PI Mouse for Hire game. In a recent announcement, Fumi Games unveiled exciting updates about their upcoming title, a first-person shooter inspired by the Disney 1928 cartoon Steamboat Willie, which went to public domain last January 2024. The game is set to launch in 2025 on multiple platforms including PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and the anticipated Nintendo Switch 2. In a tweet posted on X, the developers made the following announcement, and I quote as follows: "So many have asked when Mouse PI for Hire is releasing, and we can't thank you enough for the support. The honest answer is we're working very hard on the game and to make sure it's an experience you all love. We promise we will not announce a date until we know we're ready." Mouse PI for Hire puts players in a noir-inspired world, adopting the classic rubber hose animation style reminiscent of early Mickey Mouse cartoons. Players will step into the shoes of private investigator Jack Pepper, navigating a city rife with crime and corruption. The game promises a blend of intense gunplay, investigative elements, allowing players to interact with the environment, utilize unique power-ups, and engage in dynamic combat scenarios. For content creators, the developers have introduced a feature that enables the removal of licensed music, ensuring a seamless streaming experience without copyright concerns. The reason I bring this particular article up is the amazing things that have happened now that things are starting to fall into public domain. It's something that we can definitely take advantage of and have an opportunity as creators, whether we are writers, game developers, or whatever type of content creator we are, to see what we can use with our imagination. This is such a great example, and I just wanted to highlight this because I don't think this is getting enough buzz for many people to really see what an amazing game this might actually be. Well, those are my bits on Millennium Milestone News Bits. Hope this turns out to be a good, informative portion of our channel. If you like this, give this a like and subscribe, and share this with everyone else, and hope to see you in the next one. And you best better believe I'll be back.